Shut the hell up, shut the hell up, shut the hell up and get your work done. Shut the hell up, shut the hell up, shut the hell up, shut the hell up.
Alright, today's the day I've been looking forward to and dreading. We're gonna tile the backsplash in the kitchen. And my little buddy will be of no help to me, other than sitting here and crying all day. So, I'll show you what we're gonna do, and we'll go from there. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put these tiles on the backsplash right here, which is gonna take a little while, but this is gonna be the hardest piece. This one piece right here, it's gonna be the hardest piece because it's got to be mitered and it's got to fit up, be cut up under here too. So it's gonna be hard. But we filled in the back right here last night, so we can put these pieces right like that and like this, and then the tile can sit down on top of it, leave us a little grout joint down here. So this is what it looks like before, and we're also need to fill this in with mud right here. All right, the first thing you want to do is you got to make sure that this part right here is totally flat and doesn't have little bumps, so once you get the mud up there, it's not going to screw up how the tile sits. So just take your trowel, your notch trowel, and go and just take this sharp edge right here and just run it like this. Like that. Make sure that's all square, and take your brush and just get all that crap out of there. Because one little pebble will make it that much harder, and this is hard enough as it is, so just try and eliminate any problems before they could happen. This is the top of the tile right here, so we have to cut an L into this piece like this. You have to cut it in like this. Remove this piece right here. So we hold this piece up like this. Make sure you put your spacer on the bottom. Just like that. Now we're gonna make a mark right here. Probably should use the lead part. And you just make your mark. Alright, we're outside now. We're going to make this cut. We're going to cut this out right here. I've clamped it to the table. And I'm using this smooth cut blade that has no teeth in it right here. So hopefully there won't be much chipping. We're going to find out right now. All right, that's pretty close. And all right, the time has come to where we're gonna start setting tile. Now the first thing we're gonna do is skim coat the backsplash, and then I'm gonna use the notch trowel and put the mud on the back of the tile. I got my mud mixed up. It's a little loose still, but it's not really thin set. And I got my first 3 tiles cut and ready to go. Got my tarp laid out, got my water bucket, and here we go. There you go, that looks good. And we're going to kind of start backwards. We're going to go from this piece and work our way this way. Just because this corner right here comes out at an angle and we can't flip that out. So we're just going to put this on like this. Put your pieces there to hold it up. Get your tile. This is the cut edge. And this is the cut edge. So we're going to put some mud on it now. And you clean your edge. And just for fun, I take a little and go like this. All 4 corners in the center. Set it on your spacers, get it as close as you can, and flip it up. And move it down. Alright, now we're going to give it a quick wipe. Goes clean, clean, clean. That's the name of the game. And this is dirty, dirty, dirty all the time. I just saw something before I started sitting tall. You see how this sticks out right here? It's casting a shadow from the old mud that was on the backsplash here before. It was a backsplash right there before. So we got to take that off. That may not come into play, but it's easier just to take it off now than to worry about it. Yeah, I think that's good enough. We'll take our broom again. Get all that out of there. Alright, we're going to cut this piece right here next. This is going to be the hardest piece of the entire thing, because it's got to be a finished edge right here, and this has to be mitered. So this edge will be finished, and this edge will be on finished tile. But this piece also has to be L-cut to fit up in this recession right here. So it's got to come down, be L-cut, and then mitered right here. That sticks down a little bit right there too. Alright, we cut the piece. As you can see, it sticks over just enough. So now we got to make the L cut. So we're going to mark it. Make sure, see, I almost screwed up right there. Make sure the factory edge is out. Alright, here's the L cut we got to take out right there, and then we got to miter this edge right here all the way down so it fits nice. We're going to do that right now. Let's get this clamped. Like that. As much support as it can take. Off. All right, here we go. All right, the key is to take off as much as you can right to this edge, right here. Just right to the edge, like this. So we're going to try that right now. I think that's good enough. Hey, it don't got to be perfect, man, because it's going to sit up beside it, and it's going to be a grout joint right here. So don't worry about it too much. As a matter of fact, I'm not worried about it at all. So, all right, here's the mitered edge right here. I'm gonna put it up, see if it fits. See that? Even when you sweep it out, there's still pieces there. Alright, now you put your spacers in, put it in place, see if she fits. And it does. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, now we gotta put the mud on the wall, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got the mortar bed skim coated here. it's important. Skim coating does two things. It gives a continuous mortar bed for your tile to adhere to, and while you're skim coating it, you can see if anything's sticking out from the wall. It's going to obstruct the tile from going on flat and square. So skim coating does two things, and it's very important. Now I got this piece ready to go. I'm going to put it up here and see what happens. All right, looking good. All right, last piece. Okay, that's it. Well, it's morning and we're going to do some grouting, but before we grout, we got to clean this. So we're going to take our razor knife and just run it along here. Make sure no mud is sticking out. Got to do that through the whole piece, and then we're going to sweep it up and wipe it with a sponge, and then we're going to start grouting. But you have to use a special tool. It's called a grout float. It's like a squeegee. It's made out of rubber. It's got a rounded edge on one side and a square edge on the other side, and that's important. I'm going to show you why in a minute. All right, we got the mud mixed up now. This is about the consistency it should be. And I like using these long, this right here is called a margin trowel. And I like using the long ones because you don't have to stick your hand down in the bucket. But this is about the consistency you want. You see that? This is a little loose, but it'll dry once you put it in there. So we're ready to start spreading. I'm using green grout just because it's different. You could have the most beautiful tile job in the world, but if the grout job is bad, the whole job will look terrible. So take your time and do it right, and you'll be. This is something you can't pull a nail and fix. It's permanent once you put it in. Once it's dry, it's over with. This is unsanded grout. That means it can get into tight joints like this. If you were doing wider joints, you would need sanded grout. Otherwise, when you go to wash it, it would just wash out. And you take the square edge of the margin trowel and just pull it along. See how much I pulled out? But it left the joint full, which is what you want to do. You don't want to round it off. You just want to keep the joint full, but make it square. Alright, we're going to start washing it now. What you want to do is just lightly get a dry sponge, a grout sponge, and just lightly. Alright, well, I got her done, and well, it's as done as it's gonna get. And I skim coated down there with cement and just painted it. But here's the finished product with the tile. This miter cut could have been a little closer, but that's alright. And these are the grout joints with the green grout. Turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's gonna have to do. Alright, here's a couple of examples of how not to grout and not to set. If you don't miter these edges, this is how it turns out. And this is just, I can't even believe they did this. Look at this. How do you get paid for doing that? And see how this joint's totally washed out? See that? Look at this. That's how you don't grout. Well, I hope you enjoyed it and learned a couple things if you didn't know about them. This is the end result right here. See, you can't even see the grout joint. It's right there though. All right, enjoy. Have a good one.
Shut the hell up, shut the hell up, shut the hell up.